family. So drones are being used to help out law enforcement right here in Arizona.
Yeah, the police department in the city of Sahuarita in southern Arizona is integrating drones into their daily operations.
So let's learn more about this. Along with us is James Lawrence, the president and CEO of the company making those drones. And James, thank you for being here. You know, we have so many police departments, especially here in the Valley, with helicopters, and I would imagine these have to be much more cost effective, but can they do the same things?
Oh, sure. I mean, that's the reason Sahuarita is kind of looking into our product and our ability to teach them how to fly and get registered as a remote pilot for the FAA, for remote pilots for UAVs. Just the cost for a helicopter is just exponential for a small city.
So beyond the cost, well, actually, can you compare the costs, say, if they were to use a helicopter for some sort of need versus using the drone? What is the difference in cost?
Sure. A while back, probably several months ago, Sahuarita had, I think, their first, homicide that they had to deal with, and had to bring in the police helicopter, I think, out of Tucson. And I thought that ran them roughly, about $20,000 for them to have that down there for the time frame to do all the aerial cinematography they would need to be able to capture the crime scene and all the detailed photos and video that would be required. With our UAVs and our product, they can actually take a couple of UAVs for less than $2,000 or $3,000 for the whole cost of the platform. And the daily cost of it's, in the hundreds of dollars versus into the thousands of dollars. So they can still capture, the high definition video, the images that they need for the crime scene, and then be able to take that back and process it back with their crime scene software. So it really cuts down on them having to fly somebody in like a sheriff's helicopter or Tucson Police Department helicopter to provide aerial support for them.
So do you see a day, James, sometime soon where we have a drone that's on top of a high-speed chase, or a drone that's involved in actual law enforcement, or somebody who's holed up somewhere in a house or something like that? Because what you're talking about is more like aerial photography.
Correct. Yeah. Initially, Sahuarita is only looking at it for crime scene investigation, traffic investigation, search and rescue. I can definitely see a day in the future where they use our system in replacement of a body cam. So you're out on a traffic stop, and instead of having a body cam on a police officer, you launch a drone. It hovers above the scene and captures the video. What this provides is not just the officer's perspective, the perspective from the officer, but it provides a scenario for the whole scene. So your defense and your prosecution, you'll both get the same imagery and the same photos and the same video. So instead of just seeing it from one perspective, you get to see the whole scene as it unravels. There's no issues. You don't have to worry about it. If there is an issue, though, and you have to go to court, our system would help provide the tracking and the auditing for what actually occurred, and then also provide, the attorneys something that they can show as evidence during the court session or whatever you have for somebody that would have to go to jail for that or go to court for that.
Okay. James Lawrence, President and CEO, thank you very much for joining us. It'll be interesting to see maybe in the next 6 months or a year after these have been implemented with their department, how useful they've been.
Helicopters
and the
are
cost savings
they're crazy expensive.
They are crazy expensive.
And then you have to pay the pilot up there and the maintenance costs. We have a helicopter that we have to deal with all those expensive costs too. So I think there's going to be a time in the future,
I see it.
Like maybe a decade, where those things are zipping all over the place.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like the Jetsons. Remember the Jetsons?
I know.